In video 2, pliers. Different technical occupations use different types of pliers. You can learn more about these in your local community college or trade school. We're going to talk about some general purpose pliers, like needlenose, slip joint, and channel locks. And we'll also talk about when not to use pliers. If an object has flats, your first choice should be a wrench. Otherwise, you may damage the workpiece. Here are some pliers in a tool cabinet drawer. There are hundreds of kinds of pliers used for all different types of work. There's a couple channel locks, a pair of needle nose pliers, a pair of vice grips, some retaining ring pliers, some pin and terminal crimps, wire strippers, and wire cutters. We'll cover those in a later video. So you typically don't use pliers on an object that has a pair of flats, like this rod coupling, this hex head machine screw, or this stud. For anything with flats, you'd reach for a wrench. And you put the wrench opposite the flats, you tighten down on the wrench, and then you're ready to go. Pliers are used for bending and gripping other objects. As I've said, we'll take a look at wiring tools in a different video. So we'll use a pair of vice grips to hang onto this header, and we'll pull one of the pins out of it with a pair of needle nose. So each of these pins has an L shape. And what I'm going to do is use a pair of needle nose pliers to remove the L and kind of straighten the pin. There we go. As I've said, we're not going to look at other wiring tools, but needle nose pliers are very useful for bending a small U-hook in solid wiring to get it prepared for installing in a screw terminal. And if you install the hook clockwise in the same direction in which you're tightening the screw, the wire will be pulled into the screw instead of being pushed out of it. There are many other types of pliers used in electrical work. So here's an example of a round standoff that I'm going to grip with a pair of needle nose pliers. Needle nose have a pretty wide range of diameters, but an even wider range can be gripped by a channel lock plier. A channel lock can be adjusted based on what you're trying to grip. If I needed to grip something larger at this point, I would just open the plier all the way, slide the jaw down, grab another groove, and now I can grip a larger diameter object. It's always best to buy quality tools. It saves you money in the long run because they really can last a lifetime. Now we're going to take a look at a retaining ring plier. A high-quality retaining ring plier is usually reversible, which means you can change it to be used on internal or external retaining rings. They also sell retaining ring pliers that have replaceable tips, that have different diameters and different angles. This bearing has a groove in its outer race for an external retaining ring. We're going to use the retaining ring plier to remove that ring. Retaining ring pliers make the job pretty easy. You just put the pins inside the little holes, squeeze the pliers, it opens the retaining ring, and you lift it off the bearing. Knowing how to use tools can change your life. I hope you found this video helpful.